What's up, everybody? Hey, welcome to what are we teaching today, Debbie? Hey, Debbie.
We are teaching eSignatures in Command, which is Docusign.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to get started with everything. So we're live on Facebook. We got some people watching. Hello, everybody on Facebook. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the questions there, and we should be able to see those and answer those. So don't hesitate to ask those questions. But I'm going to go ahead, and I've got my screen up there, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of resources to start with. And so the very first one I'm going to show you guys is answers.kw.com. So once I'm there, we've got Command, and as I scroll down, each of the Command applets is here, and we've got opportunities, and then we've got Docusign. So here's all sorts of support for Docusign. But the most important one for today is the My Command and Docusign workflow. So really, this is what we're going to work through today. We're going to create a contact, which you guys all know that. We're going to prepare your opportunity for compliance. We're going to select a compliance checklist for your opportunity, start a transaction, prepare your documents, create and send your documents, upload them to the opportunity, and submit them so you can get paid in compliance. So Debbie, anything you want to add today?
No, just if this is your first time viewing, we're so excited to have you. Docusign is easy peasy, and I hope that you guys enjoy this class.
All right, so get back to where I have Command here, and I am going to start with contacts. So you have to have a contact, whole nother class on this, but if you need to, add contact right there, put a name and an email address. And then we're going to have opportunities. So once again, there's a whole class on opportunities, but we need to create an opportunity. So right here, I'm going to create my opportunity, and we're going to do a listing today. Does that sound good, Debbie?
Sounds wonderful.
All right, so here we're going to do a listing, and I'm going to do Mickey Mouse. And I have to put a commission rate in, and now I have my opportunity and my commissions. There slides down. And I'm just going to create my opportunity there. Once I'm here, we want to get Docusign. So if you don't have Docusign connected, visit the answers, but it's in your settings. We're going to click on Documents. And once I click on Documents, I've got this option up here to start with Docusign. So once I click Docusign, in the background, it's doing a lot of information for me. And actually, I forgot to do something. So I'm going to create a brand new opportunity here. I skipped one step. Mickey Mouse, commission here. So you get to see how to create an opportunity twice. Documents, and before I click Start a Transaction, I want to click on my checklist type. And we're going to do a residential listing today. So your office is going to set these, so yours won't look exactly like mine does, because each office gets to set these independently. So I'm going to click Residential Listing. And one of the things you'll notice that we've got set up here for our residential listing checklist is these DSs. So these DSs mean Docusign. These will automatically import what we're going to teach you guys today on forms. They're going to import those automatically into Docusign. But we're also going to show you how to find them without that. So now that I've got my checklist, I'm going to click Docusign. It's going to work in the background, create some information here. I'm going to log in. Hopefully I remember my password. Good thing you guys can't see it because it's super secret. And now I've got my room here. So Debbie, what's a room?
So I like to think of a room as a file folder where you can keep all of your documents for this particular transaction. And Kyle, I am not seeing the room on the screen.
Let me reshare.
Okay.
Is that better?
There we go. All right. So now you can see in this room, which is, I like to think of it as a file folder where I keep all of my documents for this particular transaction. You can see in here all of those documents that had the little DS that Kyle just talked about auto-populated into this room. Now, up at the top hand corner, you can see where it says Mickey Mouse listing. That is the name of this room. And if you wanted to, you could go over to the detail section, click on that, and you can go through and edit the information here. So some of it populated over from command. So Kyle had Mickey Mouse in as his seller. The information for Mickey Mouse that was in the contact card, so his cell phone number and Mickey's email address, populated through. This is going to be very helpful when you go to create your contracts, because this is going to auto-populate onto the forms. Now you can edit any of the information in here if you want to. There is an edit button right here at the top, and it is simply easy enough to go through, edit or change any information that is needed here. You could also, over on the left-hand side, you'll see that there is quite a bit of information. Some of the information your forms may not have on there. You may not need all of them, but if you have the listing, the location, you would know the address is the listing. So if you put that in there, that'll be something that auto-populates onto the contracts as well. What else, Kyle?
So let's talk about the documents here. So as I'm in Docusign, we've got documents. And remember, I showed you guys on my checklist all those DSs. Those documents automatically came in because this office has those set up. Forms are just, I call them templates. So I may need all these documents, all these forms, but if I need to add additional documents, I'm just going to come up here to this add. I'm going to go to Docusign Forms. So I'm here in Kansas City. So down here in Kansas City, and Debbie, we forgot to even introduce ourselves because we were worried about the sound. So introduce yourself.
I am Debbie Keller. I'm out of the Olathe Market Center, and I am a Market Center Tech Trainer and the Director of Agent Services here. And I get the pleasure of getting on and teaching with the region with Kyle Clark and some of our other tech trainers.
Awesome. So Debbie introduced me. I'm Kyle. Kyle Neiman. I'm the Market Center Tech Trainer for the Overland Park office, the Plaza office, and the Kansas City North office. And then I assist the Market Center Tech Trainers in Topeka and Lee Summit, just to help them, give them a little resource as well. So we're both available if you guys have questions. But back to Docusign. So now that we're here, I want to add additional documents that I need to fill out. So I'm going to click Add. I'm going to click Docusign Forms, and I've got two different things here. So I've got groups and I've got libraries. Libraries are every single document that KCRR, our local association, has, and everything that the Kansas Real Estate Commission has, and everything that the Kansas Association of Realtors has. So when I click those, there's tons of documents in there. It makes it a little hard to find. And each office, so I'm part of several offices here, like I mentioned, each office has its own set of documents as well. So your office can upload some documents and you'll have one folder. So yours will be a little less cluttered than mine, but we have access to all these different documents. So the library is kind of like, you go to the library, and this library in one town has a whole set of books. This library in another town has a whole set of books. And you want them from each library. So that's where the groups come in. So your Market Center can create groups here. And so we've created groups for, this is the Overland Park office, our buyer agency forms. And we've got our residential listing forms. So here's our agency forms. And you'll notice that these are already in use. These all came over when I created the opportunity. And then we've got some other ones here. So if it's built prior to 1978, we need our lead-based paint. We just click that and add them. But the idea behind the groups is to make smaller little things of similar documents. And you notice I've got KCRR documents here. I've got KW139. I've got MREC documents. The groups allow you to take those big libraries and create smaller and smaller groups that your Market Center will do. So hopefully they're starting to use those. I just add selected, and now that form is right there. Oops, where'd it go? Lead-based paint. There's the lead-based paint. Is right there in my documents for me to use. And Debbie, what's a form?
Sorry, I'm trying to unmute myself here. So the forms right here is where you can go in. It is interactive. You can get in and fill out your documents as needed. You'll see in the corner where Kyle is circling here, it says form. If it's blue and says form, that means that you can go in and you can fill out that contract. So let's pick up the exclusive right to sell. Once you click on that, you'll see that this form opens. And now you can fill out the form just as you would a regular exclusive right to sell. Now you can also see that Mickey Mouse populated through because he was in that detail section that we showed you just a bit ago. So any information that was in that detail section that is mapped to go onto your forms will auto-populate. Now, the other things that will not auto-populate, you can see Kyle can click on any of those boxes and fill in the information that is needed.
So now that we have, you'll notice that there's kind of two parts to Docusign. There's the part here that's the room that really is for the realtor. So remember, rooms are for realtors. The next part is going to be an envelope that's for everyone. The envelope's where we're actually going to apply these signature spots and these initials. And so you won't notice them right here yet. That's going to be the next step. Really, we're just preparing the documents. If we're going to print these out and send them to our client, we can fill them out and print them from here and get hand copies. The rooms are really just document preparation and document organization, the file cabinet. So I scroll through here. We've got a special one for our offices. So there's not much to fill out. We've tried to make it super easy, but I would fill these different things out here and our home warranty stuff, and just scroll through, and you can see a couple of other things pre-populated here for us. That's Mickey's email address. I just used my personal one. The agent phone number's right there. We can fill stuff in. So anywhere that we have something, we can fill it in. We can also override this. So if really it's going to be Debbie, I can override anything that comes in automatically. So I save and close this. And one of the big things that Docusign does is with seller's disclosures. So we've got our seller's disclosure right here. I'm going to go ahead and click that and open that up. And to be honest, the first time that I opened this up when I was checking documents, I kind of was like, wait, this isn't right. Oops, seller's estimated proceeds. Helps if I click the right thing. Seller's disclosure. There we go. I kind of freaked out because there's not a whole lot of spots to fill out here because this is for the client. The client usually fills out the disclosures. And so we're going to do that in the next step in the envelope for everyone. But here, I've got my top stuff up here, and I can't do anything on anything else because it's not really for the realtor to fill out, it's for the client. So if you see this, a lot of times it's going to be in the next step, and don't freak out like I did. One of the things you can do as well is I'm going to come back here into command. I'm going to go to my details, and I know that the address on this is 6850 College Boulevard. I'm going to save that. And now it says sync edited. I'm going to hit the little sync button here. And when I go back to Docusign and I click on the details, that address is now in here. So when I open up the documents, so when I open up my seller's disclosure again, that address is already in Docusign, and it's going to flow over into my seller's disclosure automatically. So you can update that address. So I didn't have to type the address in because I put it into .loop once, or into command once. And now it's going to flow into everything I'm doing in this transaction for this listing. So really cool way to be able to do that. And if you forget, I just went in and edited that. And now that I hit the sync button, I go back, it's going to show that it's all synced up. If you forgot to add a contact, a co-seller, you can add them by editing right here, and it's going to take their information right into Docusign and add them as another seller. So anything we're missing, Debbie?
No, but I could see how that would be a huge plus for when you have buyers. When you finally get the contract signed, you get an offer accepted, that would be helpful to go into that spotting command and it updates everything for you.
You can even do it before an offer is accepted, and on the form for each offer you're going to make, you put the address there, and it's going to make sure it's on every form correctly that you open up.
And that is a huge time saver.
Yep. So Debbie, any other forms that we would want to fill out today?
Oh, sure. Just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and do the lead-based paint as well. We can show them again how everything populates through, and then we will send it off. We can show them how to send it off for signatures.
All right. So once again, the Mickey came in, the address came in. These are all things that the seller is going to check yes or no on. So we don't have them here because it's a disclosure. So there's really not much to do on this one besides just double check and make sure Mickey Mouse and the address are the same. So we're going to hit save and close. And I'm going to show you a couple little features here really quick before we move on to that. Once, if I right click on any of these documents, I've got some options. So I could download this document. I could send an email directly from this with any of the documents. And then I can even select multiples. So once I select one of them, so I'm going to do the seller's disclosure, it opens up a menu bar across the top as well. So we can do the same stuff across the top as we do with the right click. But once I select multiple documents here, there's exclusive right to sell, the seller's disclosure, and the lead-based paint. This works for any of these things. So if any of these that I click, it's going to allow me to email all these documents. So I could type in an email address of a buyer that wants to just review the documents before they actually can sign them. I could send these to an agent, say, like I have documents I want to send to an agent or a lender or a title company. I can easily just from right here send these documents. So I've got everything selected that I want, and I'm going to create an envelope. So envelopes are where we get all of our signatures and where the rest of the disclosures get set up. So click create there. And it thinks for a second.
So Kyle, where is Mickey Mouse moving to? If he's selling his house, where is he going? Just curious, and this has nothing to do with Docusign, just.
So Mickey Mouse, this was a rental property. Mickey Mouse is an investor, and he had a rental property here, a commercial property that he owned that he's selling now. So he's still living in Disneyland. He makes commutes to Disney World every once in a while, but he likes to visit his hometown. Did you guys know that Mickey originated right here in downtown Kansas City? There was a mouse here, and Walt Disney lived here in Kansas City and worked, and this is where a lot of the Disney stuff was created, the early Disney stuff, including Mickey Mouse. There was a mouse in his workshop, and he modeled Mickey after this mouse that he kept seeing in his workshop.
So you get Docusign and a little Disney trivia on your afternoon this Thursday.
Yep, it's pretty easy. So once we're in here, we can name this envelope. So this could be listing doc, so I know what's getting sent out. I just scrolled down on accident. So I can name this so I know what's getting sent out. I can even move these around. So I can move the exclusive right to sell first, the lead-based paint to the last, and I'm ready to go. Debbie, what's the most important thing to do on this add recipients part?
So you'll click over on add recipients and it'll pull down a list. I love the Pretag Roles. I think that's the important part you're talking about. So go ahead and click Pretag Roles. When you do that, it'll pull up this list here where you can click who seller one is. The recipient is going to be Mickey Mouse. Mickey is seller one. We don't have a seller two, no buyers yet, but the listing agent is going to be Kyle Neiman. and add selected. Oh, listing broker. Let's go ahead and put the listing broker on there. Now, doing the pre-tag roles is going to save you a lot of time in the very next step. So the pre-tag roles will map out where all of these signatures need to be for the appropriate person. Now, as you can see right here, it gave you a seller one, Mickey Mouse, and his email, listing agent, the name of, and then the email for listing agent. Now, if you needed to go in and make any changes to how the seller signs or how the listing agent signs, maybe they want it sent to a different email address, this is where you can go in and make those changes. Perfect. There are signing orders. So where the circle is right now, the red circle just went away. There is a number 1 right there. So number 1 means that they're going to get the listing docs first. Now you can put somebody as number 2. So as soon as everything is signed for the person under number 1, then number 2 will get it. So it is a nice signing order. So if you wanted to send it to yourself as the listing agent first, review everything, make sure everything is in there correctly, you can sign it. As soon as you sign it, Docusign will automatically send it off to seller number 1, who you have marked here as 2. Once the seller signs it, then it's going to go to number 3, who is the listing broker. So you could keep everybody on there as 1 if you wanted everybody to get email at the exact same time. Or you can put this listing order in if there was a listing order. You can put these Docusign orders in if there was a way that you wanted everybody to receive these forms.
So Debbie,
oh, go ahead.
One of the things you can do too is if you're a coordinator, you can add a recipient. And so we can add just an email address, and we can say receives a copy. So all they're going to get is a copy after everyone signs, because they're second. And so we could just put their name and their email address, and as soon as everybody signs, the transaction coordinator is going to get this. Or maybe you're sending out an amendment that the title company is going to need. You could put the title company as receives a copy, and at the end of everybody signing, the title company is going to get that, or the other agent, the co-op agent. Your clients are signing first or second, and you just want the co-op agent to get it as soon as you're done signing. You could add the co-op agent in there, and immediately after that amendment signed, they're going to get it.
Again, that's another huge time saver for you guys as well. Down below here where it says message to all recipients, this is the email message that will get sent out. The email subject says please DocuSign. You could always put in there, you know, please listing documents, please DocuSign, and you can say please sign these listing documents. Let me know if you have any questions. Whatever message you want sent out over email to the people getting this envelope.
So I'm just going to fill in really quick the broker name here and his email address. So this is our broker. And now we're ready to send this out to get documents, but we have to do one more thing. So up here in the top right, we've got our next button. And this is where the magic happens. The pre-tag roles that Debbie talked about, this is the magic spot right here. What this does is, because we use those forms, Docusign is already pre-configured where everybody needs to sign. And so now up here in the top left, we've got different names. So I'm in yellow, Randy's in blue, and Mickey's in purple. And we've got our documents here. On the right side, we can see our 3 different documents, and we can jump super quick to the different documents. And if you see these little like arrow things, that's where anybody would need to sign. So remember I said I'm yellow. So I need to sign on that page, and Mickey's purple, so he would need to sign on that page. And on our exclusive right to sell, our broker would need to sign, so all 3 of us are on this page. So as we start to go through here, we start to see some different things here. So we've pulled all this, filled all this in our form. It came over automatically. We've got our residential checked there. As we scroll down, and this is kind of specific to us, but you might see this from time to time, we've got some things here that are kind of optional. They're not required. The initial on the page is required, but we've got an initial here for our private office addendum or our pre-MLS here for local stuff. But we may not be using that. And so it's really easy to just select one and hit the delete button. But if we are using it and we want to make it required for Mickey, we just select it and we come over here to the right and we click that required field and it turns that purple shade. And Mickey's going to have to initial this spot before he can finish signing everything. So occasionally you'll see some stuff that might be optional, or let's say we forgot to fill in. What did we forget to fill in? We forgot to fill in the home warranty company here. So we can come over here to the left side and we can switch to Mickey, and all these things on the left side are tagged based on who's on the top up here. And so Mickey is going to do a home warranty. We can just drag a text box. So if we've missed something, we don't want to do this very often. We want to get as much as we can done in the forms. But if we happen to miss something, we don't have to go all the way back to the form and kind of start all over. We can just kind of modify this document here and put in the home warranty company. Home warranty. There we go. I'm sure I misspelled it. And that becomes a form there, and it's required. And Mickey could change this, but I don't want Mickey to change the home warranty company we decided on. So I'm just going to click read only, and Mickey can't change that now. He can just read it. So, and if I, once again down here, I would need to delete this, make sure Mickey signs that as a required field, and we're good to go. So
I didn't get.
That was my Siri. I hit the wrong button. So Debbie, what am I missing here? Anything I'm missing on this particular step here?
No, I don't think you're missing anything. It's just a great way to go through and double check your paperwork before it gets sent out. Review it. Everything should map correctly, but just double check that you have everything spelled correctly. If there was anything that you needed to go through and get a signature on an initial, this is the time to do so.
And I almost forgot the seller's disclosure. I kept saying, hey, don't worry about it on that side. Let's actually show you guys what happens. So now that we have that seller's disclosure, it drops all these different checkboxes in. And I can come in and I can double click. If I know that the house was built in 1977, I can come in and select that and make it read only so that Mickey won't be able to change that. But Mickey's going to get this, and notice that all these have that little purple box around them. Mickey now will get assigned these, and he's going to go through and check each of these, yes or no. And there's two different types of things. There's check boxes and there's radio buttons. The radio buttons are either or. So if I double click yes, which is how I can edit it by double clicking right here, and I said, oh, that's wrong, and I click no, it's going to change that automatically. And only one can be selected. On the check boxes, I can drag and drop one on here, and I can have just an individual checkbox. I can have multiple checkboxes, and I can select both of those if I wanted to. So that's the difference between the checkbox and the radio. Is the radio only allows you one particular thing. If I accidentally select something, and it took me a second to figure this out, if I accidentally select something and double click it, and like, oh, Mickey needs to fill that out, I just select the combination there, and I click on my radio button values, and I can just unselect no, and it's gonna unselect that. So Mickey's gonna get this because they're all purple. He's gonna be able to sign them all and be able to do that. So there's a checkbox with just one item, unknown. I just need to check that if Mickey will get that. So I'm going to do one thing really quick that you're not actually going to do just to save some time here. I'm going to remove myself and our broker from getting the signatures just so we can get it signed super quick today. So normally you're not going to go backwards and delete the people, but for the sake of time today and getting it signed, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I hit next and everything will be the same. And now we're ready to share this to Mickey, right?
Right.
So I can double check everything's there. I'm going to hit the send button. And now Mickey's getting an email, which Mickey is me. So I should get an email here in just a second. There it is, listing documents. You guys can't see my email, but it'll pop up here. So Mickey got an email that says review documents. He clicked the link that's right there, super easy to see. And he waits a second and this opens. The forms that have like the especially our seller's disclosure that have a bunch of things sometimes take just a little bit longer to load than some of the other documents that don't have as many different things. So we're going to hit continue here. And all that stuff that I filled in on the form, Mickey can now see. Mickey can sign an initial, and it just pops him to the next one. So one, as both Debbie and I are licensed realtors as well, one realtor tip is make sure to explain this, what you're sending them really well before they send it, because most likely they're going to do what I do here and just go right through this. And so one little tip there, notice that home warranty that I forgot to type in, now Mickey, and I made it read only, Mickey doesn't even know that I did that a different way. So Mickey just initials everything, signs everything, and now we get to the seller's disclosure. Remember, I made the 1977 read only. Everything else Mickey can click on and hit yes or no. And it's super easy for them because it's just one for them. In the setup, it's a double click, but Mickey's just a one. And so we go through and sign and initial everything. Did I hit everything? Yep. I'm not going to fill out the entire seller's disclosure because I don't want to bore you guys. But now we've got everything signed, and here's our lead-based paint. We could pre-check these. Seller has no known knowledge. Seller has no reports. And Mickey's going to initial each of those and sign there. I would sign there. I would initial there had I not deleted myself. And we are ready to go, right? Mickey's done signing. So Mickey just hits finish. Debbie, anything else to add on this part?
No, I don't think so. Now I guess if we go back into Docusign on the agent side, we can show them what it looks like once their clients have signed.
All right. So I've left and went and showed houses to other clients, right? So now I can come back in and find Mickey Mouse here and my listing. So it's this one right here. I can double click on Mickey and see all the different stuff that I've got here. And then I can click this go to transaction. This go to transaction is going to take me right into that room where I had all those documents. And it looks a little different now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So remember when we first pointed out that the blue, the corner blue that is marked form, now you'll see some in the corner that are checkbox and they are signed. So those are the signed documents that are completed by your clients. DocuSign does keep a form inside of your room. And then there is also a certification of listing docs. So a certification of what you sent over in your envelope that is just a PDF. So if you upload, like we have to upload the, we were on the buyer side, we got the seller's disclosure from the other agent, we can go in here, we can upload any PDFs. And it would be marked in the corner as a PDF. So you can kind of tell the difference between the different forms. These signed ones, so Kyle, do you want to show how to add a different folder so that you can organize them? So once you have signed forms, I like to go and put all my signed forms in a signed form folder, which makes it easy when we are ready to submit these for compliance, which we'll show here in just a second. So you can see Kyle's clicking the ones that he wants, and he can go up to the top and hit move, and it'll ask, where do you want it to move to? It's a folder, and it's the listing docs. And now those signed forms are all under listing docs folder.
And you can drag and drop as well to move them in. One of the things you can do once you're kind of done with a form is you could delete it or move it into this particular folder here. So all of our listing documents and forms could live up here, or we can just delete it. So I can delete the form because it's never signed. All my signed stuff is up here in the PDFs. And if I need to go back and get it, I just click the add button. I come to Docusign Forms, and this would be a KCRR form as a lead-based paint. I can just do a quick search there and add that form right back in if I need it. So forms are really nice to, if you're done with them, you think you're done with them, you can just get rid of them from your room just to kind of keep things cleaned up. So I can right click and delete all those, and it's going to ask me yes, and it says permanently removed, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot in that case because we've already got everything signed up here that we need. So now we're ready to submit these to our compliance team. Debbie, where do I go?
You're going to go back into Command and open up that opportunity, which I believe you have open in that next tab. You're going to go back to this opportunities where it says Documents. And over here on the right-hand side, you'll see where it says Add a File. So we did get the exclusive right to sell signed by Mickey. When he does add a file, you can see that there's different ways that you can import a file. We use Docusign, and it is in Docusign, so we can go ahead and check Docusign. And now you'll see that all of the forms that you have in that Docusign room will populate through for you to choose. So this is the exclusive right to sell, and this is up at the top where you said select folder. You can click on the listing docs. Here are all of the listing docs. He will choose exclusive right to sell, assign, and now you will see that there is a teal writing that says that you uploaded a document. So you can also add multiple files instead of adding it one by one. We'll move that for the up here at the top, attach multiple files. If you click on that, you'll see the list of forms that your compliance department needs. Click on DocuSign, and now you can go through each, and you have the exclusive right to sell, you can go through each form and select the form that it goes in the appropriate placeholder.
And Debbie, one of the things about is once I put the exclusive right to sell in there, it doesn't show up on any of the rest of the forms. So here's my seller's disclosure. And if I go down and find my lead-based paint that is not required on everything, but conditional required for us because it's 1978 and before, now I only have 2 documents to choose from because I've already used the other 3 in the room. And so it really helps, makes it quicker because you're removing those other documents that you don't necessarily need. And then I just hit attach. It processes for a second, and we're ready to submit these to our market center. So that's how easy it is to do these things. If I get an offer in, so let's say I get an offer from agent. One of the things you can do under actions is, under your name here and preferences, is you can set up an email address that will automatically email or automatically add documents to your inbox here. So under our inbox details, I've got a fax number and an inbound email that kyle.neiman@mail.docusign.net. If I get an email from an agent, I could just forward it to this email address, and it's going to show up here in my inbox. That just like I moved those documents to my folder inside that room, I can move documents from my inbox into that room and be able then to add them to an envelope and drag and drop some of the initial stuff. So one of the things that we didn't show was kind of adding a PDF. So I'm here in my documents, and I've got an add button here that I can add from my computer. And I'm in my downloads here. Let's find a seller's disclosure. Sure, I have one here somewhere. Downloads, let's check downloads. I know it's in here. residential real estate contract. So this is a PDF. I'm not even sure what it's for, but we're going to go ahead and open that. And it just adds a PDF down here in my room docs. So there's my residential real estate contract. I can open it up, and you're not going to have any initial spots. So I'm not sure what that one's for, so I don't want to show too much. But now I could select this, put it in an envelope, and I can, because it's not a form, there's not the pre-tagged roles there. So in this case, I would need to just add my clients as email address and just enter them super quick. Once you've kind of entered them once, they'll be in your contacts here, and you can use them again. But we're just going to put me for here for a second, and my email address. And then I'd hit the next button and drag and drop the right initial spots to the right spots there. So that's how easy it is to upload, like a seller's disclosure, an offer. So you get an offer from another agent. You could either email it to yourself using what I just showed you guys, or you could just download it to your computer and put it here. You can even, you won't be able to see it too well, you can even drag and drop. So I'm just all of a sudden you're going to see something here. Here's a PDF. I just dragged it from my computer here and dropped it, and it puts that right into there. You can load photos in. So there's a photo of it's a JPEG, and it just has a different thing there. So these little boxes in the bottom are great for letting you guys know exactly what type of file it is, because I don't think I can take a JPEG and put initials on it, but I've never tried. We'll have to try that sometime. If I needed to make an offer, so this wouldn't be an offer. This is a buyer, but or seller. But that's really how easy it is. We've got lots of different things here. I can even connect directly to my Google Drive. It's going to make me log in and allow. And now I can connect directly to my Google Drive and have documents in my Google Drive that I just add directly here. So really easy to do that. So shared files is one that I know is good stuff. I've got a condo checklist here. I can just add it that easily. It's going to come into my room docs, and right there it is. If I wanted to send that with all the rest of the documents, I just select everything I want to send. So, W, that's really what we've got today, right? Anything else that we missed?
I don't think so. I love Docusign, how easy it is to get your form signed. Pretag Roles is amazing. Having it hooked up with Command just makes it seamless. And all the different ways that you can add things. I actually didn't know that you can add a JPEG in here, so that you taught me something new today. But if you guys have questions, please reach out. Or I don't know if you want to type any in the comments if you have questions right now. We're here to help, and yeah. Yep.
So one of the really quickly, if you don't have Docusign set up, and I'll post this in the comments here. If you don't have Docusign set up, you go into your command here, you click on settings, and right here is Docusign. It'll say get connected. It's going to send you an email authorizing it, and once you do that, you'll be connected there. And you do get the option of if you are still using .loop and have it connected, you get to choose which of those options you want to use for each opportunity. But once you choose, that opportunity is kind of locked into that signature provider. So just a couple of things there. And I've got a whole group of, I've got some links for what I showed you guys at the beginning that you may not have been able to see for the Docusign workflow. There's KW has a class, but Debbie and I are both certified Docusign trainers. So they actually teach the class. They teach the same stuff we did because we learned from them. So in the comment section, I've got some stuff there for you guys. one of the last things I wanted to show you guys is the reason that when I go to my ad and I have my Docusign forms and I have these libraries from our local associations is I've connected through our NRDS number. So in Docusign, I click on my preferences. So if you're not seeing all your forms, you might check this. And under integrations, there's a realtor button here, and I'm connected, and I've actually shared it with Clark because you can share some stuff. And if there's a big realtor thing there, just connect that. It'll walk you through your NRDS number, a few other things that you need there, and just find your local association and have them put that in. So, or have that connection. I've got all those connected. So actually you can turn some stuff off here. If I don't want to have that connection back on in my rooms, I'm never going to use those connections. Now when I come up to my documents here, I click my add file. It's not even going to give me the option for Dropbox and the other one that was on there. I don't remember what it was because I don't use it. So you can clean up your forms here, your menu a little bit if you wanted to. The other thing I always like to say, a lot of times it logs you in and you have to get a code, and it won't let you in until you get the code. You can turn that off. So I'm going to switch to the e-signature side. So there's two sides to DocuSign. One is the side we're on with the rooms. The other is the traditional DocuSign, and you see I've completed envelopes. So when we start that envelope, it really works off of this side, but it's hidden. I go into my settings here, my preferences. Actually, sorry. I go into my manage profile. And right here under privacy and security, which is going to make me log in again and probably make me send a code. Yep, so I have to verify that. See if I get my email really quick. Because I'm changing the security settings, it's making me double check that. It's like, hey, you're changing something you shouldn't be. Maybe I should verify it's really you. So I enter my verification code, hit confirm. Oh, I missed the 7. I didn't copy 395387. That's kind of funny. It won't let me. There we go. And I just turned off this device verification because I didn't want to have to, every time I tried to log into DocuSign, check my email for a code. So super easy to change that off. You could still have some two-step verification on if you wanted to, where the very first time that you guys log in, it would send a text to you if you would like some extra security. But the device verification to me seemed a little overwhelming and too much that I needed to do. So.
Kyle, I thought of something else as well. So once you have your opportunity started, you hit the go to transactions and you have your room created, you can just go to rooms.docusign.com and it'll take you right to this page where you can go in and work from the room or choose the room that you want to. So if you start and you're out and you're trying to just get in, write an offer, if you already had that opportunity started, had the room started, you can, instead of logging into command, you could just go straight to rooms.docusign.com and it'll take you right in here. And you can see all of the rooms that you have started.
I have a lot.
Yeah, Mickey, it looks like Mickey's buying a lot of homes. You are right.
I told you he's an investor. They're great. They buy lots of houses. So let me check. I don't see any questions anywhere. So if that's it, guys, DocuSign's great. I think it's even better than .loop. One of the cool things I like about it is I can see exactly who's signing based on those colors. So a buyer or a seller is not going to accidentally sign for a second buyer or seller just because it was tagged as seller. That happens occasionally in .loop, but that's one of the great features of this. The integration with commands getting better and better all the time. It's just really, at some point, you're not even going to know you left command to get signatures. So that's what we have today. Debbie, any last thoughts?
No, sir. Reach out if you guys have any questions.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.